Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Magically Living Podcast, where we turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. Today, we're topping the topic of crystal healing. Oh my goodness, I'm so much ready for today. Let's jump in. So, let's start with the spiritual healing paradigm. Crystals and gemstones have a long tradition of being used for healing. In contemporary practice, there are two main ways in which they are used, both which have parallels in much older traditions across the world. The first method can be called the spiritual healing paradigm. Here, crystals, especially clear quartz stones, are used to channel direct energy and amplify the energy from the healer or the spiritual realms in which the healer works. Healing energy is mentally directed through the stone, which amplifies and clarifies the healing potential. Some North American Indian healers use quartz in this way to diagnose a problem and then remove it. Shamanic cultures also do the same. In these instances, crystals may or may not come into contact with the patient. Very often, one or two crystals are used. And the second method of crystal healing can be called resonance placement paradigm. The resonance placement paradigm is a method that doesn't require belief in the spirit world or any kind of energy coming from elsewhere, but relies only on the power of the crystals themselves and the healing intuition of an individual. Many different stones may be used, and each one chosen for a particular beneficial effect on the patient or oneself. Placed on or around the body, the color, the shape, the composition, and the stones are thought to create a resonance that encourages healing to take place. This system parallels the magical talismanic practices of carrying gemstones, as well as Ayurvedic traditions in India, in which stones are chosen to bring the most harmonious energy for each individual. Now you know the two ways of crystal healing. Let's jump in and learn about getting to know a crystal. There are a few ways you can do this, but the main thing is taking time to examine your crystal will create a strong intuitive energy that will link you and the crystal, and it'll be useful in your healing situations. It isn't necessary to always have new insights or experiences in this process, okay? So lay out your entire collection. Put some neutral color in the background and gaze quietly at the selection of stones. This will help identify the effect that each stone creates. You can hold your stone, stare at it, have a journal, write down the sensations. They could be hot, cold, tingly, whatever's coming to you, write that down. Another way is holding stones to a chakra point to show you how it may modify the energy of that center. Take time with your crystal. Once you pick your crystal, pick it up, hold it comfortably in your hands. Imagine your awareness spiraling down into the stone, and as it opened up, you can explore it. You can see with your imagination inside of the stone. See how it feels. Is there a sense of texture or change of temperature? Perhaps there's a sense of space or restriction. You can look at any senses or sound. Is there like any kind of sound that you're hearing from your crystal? Or what would it seem like the sound would sound like to you from the crystal? You can breathe in the energy of your crystal and see if it reminds you of anything. Perhaps there's even a fragrance. Maybe you can even taste something in your mouth. Visualize that you have all this around you in this energy, this crystal. And this can take any form, pattern, even landscapes, figures. When you explore your stone and you've simply had enough, close off your inner senses and bring your awareness back to your body. Complete by grounding the process of all aspects of your awareness, spiraling back out of the stone and into your body. Be sure to make any notes of your experience. And now that you got to know your stone and you know how to get to know your stone, let's jump into some of the different things between stones, like white and black stones. They're used for clearing and grounding, and also amplifying energy. Usually stones that are clear and white in color have the ability to bring that clarity and purity to the aura. This makes them very useful as healing tools. Black and other dark color stones tend to integrate the healing that has taken place that we can feel with the practical effects of the process. They help strengthen and stabilize our fundamental energies and ground us. One of my favorite crystals is black tourmaline. Now, this is a neat little way to kind of clear and ground your energy. If you have another person with you, it would make it a lot better. So this is called the tourmaline circuit. So crystals have that parallel situation running along their lengths, and they tend to be very good at moving energy from one place to another, releasing blocks and tensions in the body. Sometimes the same problem resurfaces many times because of a hidden or underlying block, and it prevents the effect of healing. A pattern of black tourmaline crystals can clear away these deep levels of imbalance. Some stones in the pattern on the torso and hips, and others will be put next to the head, shoulders and legs and feet. The number of crystals available to you will limit how and where they can be placed. Use dark tourmaline crystals, either black or very dark green. Alternatively, you can use smoky quartz. Place the stones at all the pointing in the same direction in a figure 8 around the body. Emphasize the flow by tracing over the pattern with your hand while holding another black tourmaline or a quartz point. Continuous moment of following the exact pattern of the 8. Now you might not have a complete pattern of the 8. This is where you put the black tourmaline in points. Major points are the top of the head, the middle of the torso, and below the feet. You can use the 4th crystal to do the figure 8. Try to use as many black tourmaline as possible, as this will create a very deep grounding effect. After a few minutes within the pattern, you can remove the stones. You can use another grounding stone to settle the energies before ending the session. When you end the session, always sit for at least 10 minutes and have a drink of water. Anytime working with crystals or crystal energy, it's very important to make sure that you replenish your energy and give yourself a chance to balance the energies that you have within. Now that we went through black and white stones, let's jump into energizing and organizing red, orange, and yellow stones. Crystals from the warm end of the color spectrum help to balance the first 3 chakras and release pent-up energy in the heart chakra. Stability, creativity, and clear thinking, as well as the flow of life energy through the physical body, can all be enhanced with their help. With this crystal layout, it can help when there's a fear of failure. The heart, whose natural energy needs to expand outwards and experience life, becomes restricted. Then there's this lack of security which comes from having a loss of the sense of being in the center of the self. This happens as a mental and emotional level, but can also manifest as physical symptoms as poor circulation, so you'll notice cold hands and feet and other upsets in temperature regulation of the body. Ruby can be an ideal healing stone for these circumstances and amplify the energy of the sun net while on a yellow cloth. This net or crystal layout will be gently energizing, bringing focus and clarity to the mind and emotions. It can be useful to help regulate the circulatory system and usually produces a gentle warming sensation. If you can, find 6 small ruby crystals, and it can be ruby zeolite. Stones that are not often gem quality or inexpensive are fine to use. You don't have to have like the most beautiful ruby. Place 1 ruby above the head and 1 below the feet, in the middle. Place 1 at the knees and place 1 at the elbows. So 1 on either side, 1 above the head, 1 at the feet, 1 on either side of the knee, and 1 on either side of the elbows. Stay in this position for 5 to 10 minutes. Allow your body to just naturally enjoy the energy of opening. This is best done on a yellow cloth or having the sun directly on you. After the 5 and 10 minutes, sit up gently, giving yourself time to sip on some water and journal any notes of what you were feeling or any of the sensations. This is done so you can know what's going on with your body and seeing the progress. Because what may work for one may not work for another. With these beautiful colors of stones, there's no limit. But another thing I wanted to tap into is to talk about easing pain. And pain is a useful indicator that there's damaged tissue. Without that sensation, we might not necessarily know that a problem exists. However, it is useful to be able to lower the levels of pain when they are very high. Pain is a concentration of energy, so by diffusing that energy, the experience of pain can often be lessened. For repair of damaged physical tissue, there must be a nourishing flow of energy to that area. To ease emotional stress of the situation or to help repair more rapid or complete, you can use pink, orange, or yellow stones at the sacral chakra or the solar plexus, with perhaps an additional violet stone at the brow or crown chakra to establish the calm. To bring a cooling, quietening energy, place colored stones green, blue, and violet on and near painful or inflamed areas. To speed up the repair of tissues such as pulled muscles or broken bones, place a rutilated quartz on or around the affected area, and this will encourage the torn tissues to rejoin and heal. Crystals have such amazing, amazing properties to them. Balance and peace. These belong with green and blue stones. Crystals with the cooler colors, blue, green, all tend to encourage a sense of balance, calm, and a quality of peacefulness. These crystals work well with energies of the heart and throat chakras. In this section, I'm going to talk about celestite. I love this crystal. Celestite is easily damaged though, and it's a very soft crystal, so keep it away from harder stones in your collection, okay? This is a Ethernet crystal healing layout. Using this energy net with 7 small clusters of celestite, a white cloth will help you tune into your spiritual states as well. I think I was getting excited saying the word. Let me see this again. Using an energy net with 7 small clusters of celestite and a white cloth will help you tune into your spiritual states as well, as encouraging communication skills and artistic creativity. Ether is the 5th element, the element of space, and within this fine substance of all the possibilities of creation. Lying in this energy net can provide a deep rest from the cares of the world. It is an effective way to lighten heavy emotional burdens. It can also help dissolve negative patterns that have become attached to the auric field. Lay out the 7 clusters on a white cloth, one above the head, one at either side of the feet, and the others evenly spaced between. Lie in the net for 5 to 10 minutes. Once again, that's one above the head, one below the feet, sometimes 2 if you want to put one on either side of the feet, one on either side of your knee, and one on either side of your elbow. Anywhere between 6 to 7 small clusters. 7 is recommended. Healing and beyond. Deep blue and violet stones. With deeper blue and violet crystals, the potential for change and growth of awareness greatly increases as their inherent abilities and buried talents emerge to enrich our lives. These stones attune to the brown and crown chakras. Are you hanging in there? I know I got a lot of information that I've been going at you. But we're going to finish it off with just these last 2 things, and then we're going to get into more of a loose format. I wanted to make sure that I got all this information out to you, and I didn't and haw it. So let's jump into laying out for the increased ease. We're going to use blue stones for this. Deep blue stones. Sometimes there's that feeling of unease and things are not quite right without any apparent symptoms or illness, or even upset in your life. Because of the potential cleansing of lapis lazuli, it can be an alleviant, and this simple procedure can be remarkably powerful. So place a clear quartz point upwards above the crown of the head. Place a smoky quartz point downwards between the feet at the bottom. At the center of the brow, place a piece of lapis lazuli. Remain in the layout for 5 to 10 minutes and repeat a few days if necessary. Journal anything that happens, any kind of sensations or feelings. Something may come up that you may not even realize. And this is a great time to start working with that. Even sodalite. Sodalite promotes understanding and is helpful when it's placed by when you're studying or trying to learn a new skill. And then we jump into the multicolored stones. There's unlimited possibilities with these. So labradorite is a very, very protective over the auric field. It prevents energy from being drained by other people. This sort of energy drain is usually unconscious process between people who are close in relationships of some kind, family members or co-workers, where one person habitually absorbs energy they need from others. This leaves the second person feeling tired and drained, put upon, or overwhelmed. So wearing or carrying a piece of labradorite effectively prevents this excessive loss of energy. There have been some changes in the relationship as it comes to terms with the new balance of energies. Once again, labradorite is perfect for this. It's a wonderful stone to wear. I like to wear it in public. I like to wear it anywhere I go, really, just so that it's protecting my own energy. So multicolored stones, you can look into all kinds of things, like the combination of red and green, such as a ruby and zolcite. It helps enliven you with the polarity of energy from both the heart and the base chakras. So when you're getting multicolored stones, you're getting a lot of the color healing from it as well. A lot of the properties that come with that color. But each stone can reflect and crystal can reflect a person differently. So always spend time with a crystal, and you can really find more about your relationship with that crystal. And if you're a crystal healing practitioner, it's important to always keep notes. That way you can see what's going on with your patient and seeing if it's helping alleviate the symptoms, if it's helping resolve the problem, if it's helping boost their energy and clearing and getting the subtle energies in place. Now that we got kind of that out of the way, let's have a little bit of fun. I'll give you a pre-warning. I might say a lot, but I'm working on that. So I've tried to get some really effective crystal layouts, information in this podcast, and I know I was kind of like throwing it at you pretty quick there. So please feel free to go back and listen again or pause the video and write things down. But personally, I've been playing with crystals since I was a young girl. My grandparents had crystals in the house. My grandfather had his own tiger's eye that he carried with him all the time. In fact, I own that tiger's eye now. When I was a little girl, I used to wash and carry crystals from the side of the road. I could find them all the time. I could hear them sing. I've always enjoyed going to find crystals in my life. I'm almost 50 years old, and yeah, I just totally enjoy them. I remember the first time I found my first smoky quartz. I was so frustrated I could not find the quartz. I could not find it. I went to the dig site and everything, and I was walking out, and I just stopped for a moment and I said a quick prayer, and I looked down, and there was a cluster of smoky quartz. It was about the size of my palm, and it looked like it had broken off from somebody else's bind, and I was so grateful for it. So the funny thing is that crystals always seem to find me. I find that if I go looking for them, I don't have as much success. If I close my mind off to exactly what I'm expecting, because then I'm always joyfully delighted with what I found. One of the coolest crystals I found in a city it's actually in the picture for today's podcast. It's a little purple blue one in front of the pink candle. It's a fluorite. It's called a blue fluorite, and I literally found that beside a sidewalk here in Niagara Falls. I had been looking for all kinds of crystals, and I found some interesting sparlites and dolomites, um, little tiny fluorites. But that piece of fluorite was pretty amazing. And fluorite and sparlite together are a very, very powerful combination. And I considered those gifts from the universe. They were really helping me out in that time. So crystals to me are friends, they're family. Um, I've always had them in my life. It's funny because I've always naturally attuned to crystals or finding them. Even when I wasn't paying attention to them, they always seem to be paying attention to me. I've always been the rock collector, you know. I used to drive my mother crazy. Her and my father had moved on the beach, and we would go down to the beach, and she'd say, "I can never talk to you down here. Your mind is not here. It is constantly on the ground. And I'm looking for shells, and I'm looking for crystals and stones because I could just hear them. They're all singing so beautifully." And then my mom would always laugh and make jokes because I would jingle. Always jingle with shells and stones in my pockets. So that story there I'm telling you is because if you take some shells and stones and you put them in your pocket, you're going to naturally jingle. And that's going to raise your vibration. Let me tell you, it's going to raise your vibration. It's amazing. Amazing, amazing. So we're going to go over some common beliefs regarding the powers of crystals. So a lot of people believe that crystals have the ability to align or influence body energy fields, and I'm one of those people. In a lot of spiritual traditions, it's thought that different crystals resonate with specific chakras or energy centers in the body, promoting balance and well-being. there are healing properties to crystals. People believe that they can support physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. For example, amethyst is often associated with calming energy, while rose quartz is believed to promote love and compassion. There is protection and purification. Crystals are thought to have protective qualities, shielding individuals from negative energies, electromagnetic radiation. Certain crystals as black tourmaline and selenite purifying clean spaces, enhancing meditation and focus. Practitioners of meditation often use crystals as aids to enhance that focus, concentration, and spiritual awareness. Holding and placing crystals during meditation can facilitate deeper connection with your inner self. Crystals are also used to amplify positive intentions or affirmations. You can program a crystal with a specific intention, and it magnifies the energies associated with that intention. Some believe that this system's linked to crystals to astrological signs and planets. Certain crystals are associated with specific zodiac signs, planetary influences, and affecting individuals born under those signs. And the best way to describe that is your birthstone. Like me, I'm a Taurus. I have an emerald. Pisces, they're known for aquamarine. These things go hand in hand with our zodiacs. Taurus is an earth sign, green. Pisces is a water sign, aquamarine, bluish green. It's a watercolor. So another one is the concept of vibrational frequencies is often discussed about crystals. And it's believed that each crystal has its own unique vibrational frequency. And by interacting with these frequencies, individuals can experience various effects on the well-being. So there's a lot of beliefs there, there are even beliefs in religious texts. I mean, crystals are in Bibles, crystals in the Hindu religion. Yeah. So there's a lot of crystal healing tools. It doesn't have to be all about crystal wands or crystal healing grids. You have your crystal jewelry, necklaces, bracelets, rings, keeping the crystal close to your body throughout the day, even in your pocket. These things help. Crystal bowls, crystal singing bowls, they're musical instruments made from quartz crystals. And when they're played, they play a resonant sound, and they have healing properties, tones, and vibrations. They really promote relaxation, meditation practices, and energy balancing. Another thing that's been really coming up lately into massage therapy is smooth polished crystals, and the wands are used for massage. So there's the face rollers, I'm hoping I say this guamas. They're the ones that help with loosening on the jowl, on the face, with the lymphatic systems. Also, I used to do this, I used to do basalt healings. And basalt is black volcanic stones. I would warm them up and place them all along the back, and that would release all the tensions in the back, and it would absorb all the negative energy. They were wonderful to use. Crystal pyramids are used in energy work and meditation, and the shape of the pyramid amplifies the energy of the crystals. I also have crystal pyramids. I use them, and I place them on specific energy centers, even chakras, and I use them in a combination with other tools and intention setting. So I also use pendulums, and I can activate them. Crystal elixirs are liquids that are infused with crystals. You can create these elixirs by placing crystals in the water, and you can charge them under the sunlight or the moonlight. And the water, it carries the energetic properties of the crystals, but there are a lot of toxic crystals, So please look into that. If you take my crystal course, I'm actually updating that today. I have a little crystal booklet and a workbook that I have about my course. And I just got it out there, but I'm going to update the booklet. I'm actually giving a list of some of the toxic crystals that you cannot use in elixirs. But I do have a thing in my course on how to make crystal essences. Oracle cards that feature images of crystals are used in divination practices, or you can actually use crystals. So some people like to use the actual cards instead of always handling the crystal. Or you can use the crystal to amplify the energy of the reading so that it gives a different association with the meaning of the cards. So it's interesting, but and with crystals, that's called lithomancy, and that's giving a specific reading with crystals. I do have one of those readings on my Rainbow Winds channel. I will put the link below. I think I still can do that here on YouTube. Um, if not, I don't know. But I think I can. So let's see. Uh, So I'm gonna go over a little bit one more time about getting to know a new stone. I mean, I know I said sit with it and get to know its energies and stuff, but after you do that, identify your stone. Identify the specific stone and then compare notes. Compare notes of what you've written down beforehand and to what you've seen what other people have written. You'd be pretty surprised. You can explore some of the geological aspects of that stone too. So, you can learn about its formation, the mineral composition. That's up to you. I mean, it's up to you how far you want to go into it. You can also take time to look about the different belief systems or the different cultures and what they have thoughts on on that crystal or stone, different spiritual aspects, different metaphysical properties to each stone. So see if it, maybe puts it into healing, or it's a balancing stone, or is it a protection stone? You may want to start dividing and understanding which stones are which, like which ones are specifically just for healing, specifically for balancing energy, specific, for protection, or specific for absorbing, right? Uh, you can look into the historical cultural significance. You can look into different mining locations if you're interested in getting your own. You can study physical properties of the stone. Let's see, colors and varieties. Explore the different colors and varieties of each stone. Sometimes each stone can come into different colors, and then with that, they would have different energies or something similar, right? You can learn about lapidary arts, such as carving and cutting and polishing stones. Some people really enjoy doing that, and turning your jewelry into jewelry or sculptures or decorative objects. Once again, on my image there, I have a little creation a couple creations that I have there. There's my stone sculpture, plus I have a little sculpture of a woman there, and she's holding a celestite stone. It's a pretty amazing stone. I really enjoy it. But you can create anything, even a flower, and put the crystal in the middle. You can, create field trips or go to museums, visiting geological sites, museums that showcase stones. Seeing stones in the natural environment or various forms can enhance your understanding and appreciation of your crystalline stones. Make sure that you also explore books, articles, online resources like my podcast, and, just see what you're interested in. There's a lot of publications and websites out there that provide in-depth information on various gemstones and minerals. You can join online forums, social media groups, and local clubs related to geology as well. Crystal enthusiasts, engaging with expert and enthusiasts can also provide valuable insights and opportunities to ask questions. So as you dive into it, I'm gonna give you a sense of something, like to maybe give a way of, okay, here, I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna jump into it. How about, like, when you're learning about your crystal, you're gonna learn different things, like Herkimer diamonds. They are not actually diamonds, but rather double terminated quartz crystals found in Herkimer County, New York, USA. They're unique crystals, and they're known for exceptional clarity and brightness, and they naturally occur double terminated points, meaning they have two naturally faucet ends. So Herkimer diamonds are believed to have high vibrational energy, and they're associated with spiritual, metaphysical properties that are often used for meditation, energy work, and enhancing spiritual awareness. Herkimer diamonds are often short and stubby with naturally faceted ends, both terminated. You can look into like maybe the spiritual connection. Herkimer diamonds are thought to enhance spiritual growth, promote connection with higher realms. They're used to stimulate the third eye and the crown chakras. So due to the clarity of double terminated Herkimer diamonds, they're believed to amplify the energy of other stones as well, and intentions too for the users. So people like to use them in jewelry as well, set them in rings and necklaces, earrings. So some people just collect them as specimens because they're just beautiful. So, and then you got like things like moonstone, and moonstone is known for its optical properties. It gives it like an enchanting play of color. That's actually known as aldorescence. So like composition of moonstone is feldspar, and it's composed of orthoclase and albite. I'm just trying to think of things off of the top of my head. So the aldorescence, the moonstone is renowned for its aldorescence effect, a captivating shimmering light that appears to move across the surface of the stone. Labradorite is like this as well. This effect is caused by the scattering of light as it interacts with the internal structures of the crystal. Moonstone is commonly cut into domed shape, polished shapes without faucets, so that it helps. Moonstone has a soft pearly and virtuous luster to it. Its metaphysical properties is known for feminine energy, intuition, and sensitivity. It's a stone of the goddess that it's linked with the moon cycles. It's also known to promote emotional balance, provide protection during travel. So some people use moonstone again in meditation. A lot of people use it in rituals, and they connect that with the cycles of the moon to harness its energy for personal growth. There are different types of moonstone as well. There's rainbow moonstone, blue moonstone, peach moonstone. They're all very, very pretty. Like the peach has got that warm peach and pinkish color, and the blue has that blue iridescence, and it's really prized for that color. The rainbow displays the range of colors and includes the blue, the white, and the peach. You know, a lot of people like to have carved decorative items of moonstone. I've seen that quite often. I personally like to carry it on me in my hands. I do have moonstone ring and necklace, and it's one of my prized ones. So I'll jump into one more crystal, which is kind of more like a stone. How about magnetite? It's a mineral of many iron ores. Like the main thing is like iron ore, and it's very strong magnetic properties, right? It's very strong magnetic. It can be attracted to become magnetized personality, or magnetize things to yourself. It can range in color from black to brownish black. Let's see here. Yeah, its luster is usually metallic, and it's also pure shiny. It's magnetic lodestone. Natural magnetite is also known as lodestone. It's been used since ancient times for navigation. The property of aligning itself with Earth's magnetic field is a very useful tool and it was a useful tool for early compasses. So I've taken you down a quite exciting journey, and I've given you a lot of information. The main thing is play with your stones. Play with your crystals. If you're going for a walk, take notice of a stone or a pebble on the street. Maybe pick it up. Thank you so much. for taking your time. I'm hoping that you learned as much as you possibly could. If you're interested in my crystal healing course, please feel free to join. I keep my courses very affordable so everybody can learn, because I believe knowledge is power. May this week fill you with the wisps of crystalline energies, and may you be fascinated by the journey